Zeus is a very powerful mage that has been a part of Smite for a very long time, and today I'm going to put it on myself to teach you the basics on how to both play and build Zeus within Smite. So for those of you that aren't familiar with these kind of videos, first we're going to talk about Zeus's abilities, then we're going to go on to general playstyle, and then we're also going to talk about a build. So let's start out with Zeus's abilities. Zeus's first ability shoots out lightning. This lightning will bounce target to target and can hit any organic enemy, which is my incredibly awkward way of saying anything but structures. Zeus's first ability also applies Zeus's passive, which I'm going to call charges. Charges allow your basic attacks to deal more damage to the target up to 3 times. Zeus's passive directly ties to his third ability. So let's talk about detonate. Detonate deals damage based on how many charge stacks enemies have. This ability removes all charge stacks, but deals an intense amount of damage in their place. Next, we have Zeus's second ability, which is a throwable item that looks like a shield. Zeus can auto-attack the shield to damage and apply charge stacks to all enemies in the circle. Zeus can also throw his chain lightning into the shield, and the lightning can bounce off the shield if there is no other source available. Finally, Zeus's ultimate is a giant circle that deals damage and applies charge stacks. This move is a great way of telling enemy players that they should not stand in the giant lightning zone, and it can honestly flip a fight on its head if it's placed correctly. So now that we understand what Zeus does, let's talk about playstyle. Zeus is a very easy to lock down mage, but Zeus can deal an insane amount of damage if he's given the chance. Now remember, Zeus has 0 escape options built into his kit, so positioning is going to be very important if you're going to succeed. As always, I'm going to recommend staying behind your tanks in team fights, but in terms of laning phase, remember, clear your waves safely and keep wards up in the jungle so you know when you need to back off. Do not engage in a 2v1. Now, once we get into the team fighting phase, you're going to do what most mages look to do. Use your abilities and then back off to safety and wait for your cooldowns. Don't fight without cooldowns. It's not really going to work. Now, the classic Zeus combo is to throw out the shield, chuck your chain lightning into that shield, and then run the hell away. You can wait for the chain lightning to finish and then easily detonate it later to clean up the kill or to deal more poke. The other thing I will recommend about playstyle is use your ult defensively when you need to. The ultimate is a great deterrent to enemy aggression. If you're getting dove by the enemy jungler and the enemy solo laner, if you drop the ult at your feet, they are going to take a lot of damage. Let's talk build real quick. Zeus's biggest weakness is how easy it is to get dove on top of. We're going to build to mitigate this weakness while still building into power so that we can still kill enemies when we need to. So this is the build I like going into. Let's talk about it. To start the game, I'm going to recommend building Mage's Blessing and the tier 1 of Celestial Legion Helm. This start is going to give you power and some early physical protections to help you survive the jungler. Once you can afford it, go into the beautiful purple power boots, Shoes of the Magi. I personally think that having the extra power earlier helps you have a better power curve rather than the 10% cooldown reduction you get with the other boots option. If you want more cooldown, feel free to swap boots. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Now, after your boots, you want to finish off Celestial Legion Helm. This item gives you anywhere from about 40 to 70 physical protections and a handful of power. This item is for survival. The jungler is going to have a very hard time killing you with this item. That means you're going to be able to survive the early game, which is a very nice bonus. So to round out the core of this build, I like to build into Book of the Dead. Again, survivability to help you get more abilities off. Cooldown reduction doesn't do you any good if you die in 3 seconds. Now for flex options. Personally, I like to go into Divine Ruin. This item gives you a good chunk of power and, more notably, some flat penetration. And on top of all that, it also reduces enemy healing, which is going to help you kill people. And I know how much you like killing people. After Divine Ruin, I like going into Obsidian Shard. It's at this point in the game that tanks are really going to start feeling pretty tanky if you do not have this item. Obsidian Shard is going to give you all the penetration you need to deal with the pesky frontline. Now, to finish the build, I usually opt in a Chronos' Pendant. This item gives a fair bit of power, and with the passive, you're basically going to have 30% cooldown reduction all from one item. Yes, I know the item gives 20%, but remember the passive and the fact that standard cooldowns are about 10 seconds long. So now that you have a basic build, let's talk about variations to that build. If the enemy team has any notable healing at all, I would recommend building Divine Ruin sooner, like after boots sooner. We want to shut down healing early. And if you wait till you need Divine Ruin to build it, odds are it's already too late. Now, if you find that, despite your best efforts, you're still getting dove into the floor, adapt the fun strategy of taking someone out with you. Build Soul Reaver instead of Chronos' Pendant, wait to be dove, ult the floor, full combo, and maybe, just maybe, you'll take someone to the grave with you. To help aid you in your quest for survival, I recommend picking up the relics Purification Beads and Aegis Amulet. Aegis Amulet is especially useful because if you drop Zeus's ultimate and have the chain lightning going back and forth, you can pop Aegis and still deal damage, and then when the Aegis ends, you can detonate all of that damage. Just don't build meditation. This isn't League of Legends. You don't need a heal. Beads and Aegis are much better. And that is the basics on how to play and build Zeus. If you enjoyed, subscribe to this channel right now. We do this kind of stuff all the time. Otherwise, if you want to continue how to learn how to both play and build within Smite right now, click on that video on your screen right now, and I'm going to see you there.